Boy, this trick, Wuliang Jianxin didn't teach you, right? Jian Yan asked. After that, hundreds of swordsmen killed Yi Ming. Their strength was concentrated and their combat power was astonishing. In one fell swoop, Yi Ming's sword-light clouds were scattered, and he immediately approached Yi Ming's side. Yi Ming's hairs were erected. He finally understood why the other party should teach him the infinite amount of sword heart. This was not a good intention, but he had the idea of killing him in the morning. At a critical moment, he howled, "Invincible!" All of a sudden, the flames of gold burned around him, and a dark golden light curtain wrapped him around. Any attack, regardless of whether it is sword gas or the swordsman's attack, was blocked back and he could not be hurt at all. What kind of defense is this? Jian was also surprised, and there was no way to take Yi Ming completely. It's not difficult at all for you, swordsman, kill. The Zhuan calculation team instantly calculated the opponent's means of using Zhang Guang, and he was able to follow immediately. All the sword lights are condensed into 3 small palm-sized swordsmen. Although they are small, Yi Ming calls them big swordsmen. The big thing is not their size, but their super attack power. Brush. A villain broke through the opponent's defense in one fell swoop and formed a killing array, surrounding one of the light and shadow swordsmen. Si Ling Ling. As soon as the sword light was twisted, a swordsman was cut. The other swordsman immediately turned into clouds again, and the sword shouted, "Great, I admit that it is difficult to defeat you today." After speaking, Zhang Guang rolled, and actually retreated, and disappeared instantly. Yi Ming was relieved and secretly called fluke. As long as the opponent persists for a while, his invincible body will dissipate. Then not only will he not be able to defend, but his physical strength will be greatly reduced, and he is afraid that it will be difficult to cope with subsequent battles. Congratulations Yi Ming, you have defeated the 14th level Sword Falcon, and you can now reach the 4th place. The sound rose. Do you choose to continue the challenge? Yi Ming was silent for a moment, and said, "I give up." He was reluctantly defeated by the 14th level swordsman. If he was above the 15th level, he thought he had no chance. Unless he can break through to the sacred martial arts here, maybe there is a chance to win. Okay. Seeing your record, then you have to go to a quiet place and wait for the half sword to end. There are about 2.5 days left, the other said. After speaking, Yi Ming was drawn inexplicably into a soft space. This space is extremely quiet and no sound can be heard. He told Bai Mingdao, "I don't know if the 4th place can be kept, but the reward will not be bad. In addition to getting a sword of the highest grade, he can also get God's blessing." Bai Mingdao, "Master, this fighting sword will be unreasonable. It is impossible for a normal human martial arts level strong person to defeat the 14th level sword cricket, let alone the 15th level sword cricket." Yi Ming, "Reasonable and unreasonable. I have already participated in it, and I am too lazy to take care of it." At this moment, Yi Ming's heart moved, the space was broken by a force, and the long-lost time and space boy actually appeared. Yi Ming jumped up and exclaimed, "Have you found Infernal Purgatory?" Wu Jiantongzi said with a smile, "You are very lucky, seeing that the longevity coins are about to run out, but I have found a space-time wormhole. I was also agitated. I went in and looked, and I found the Trail of Purgatory." Yi Ming quickly asked, "Where?" Wu Jiantongzi, "You can rest assured, as long as I have marked the coordinates, I can take you there at any time. But are you ready? Going to Infernal Purgatory, this is a 9-death life. Even me, I dare not enter easily. Quote. Yi Ming nodded. "After I become a Valkyrie, go immediately." Yi Ming's expression was firm and he said, "I'll go there anyway to rescue Su Lan. Let's do it." Time and Space Boy smiled bitterly. "It seems that I can only accompany you once. But I want you to promise me a condition. Don't worry. My condition is that you have to step out of your martial arts road before you can go to Infernal Purgatory. In Infernal Purgatory, there is no concept of time, so whether you go early or late, there is actually no difference. And what I want to tell you is that the strong man in Infernal Purgatory is terrible, and I was sensed by a power as soon as I entered. If I didn't see the machine quickly, I'm afraid I've been caught. Quote. Yi Ming nodded. Okay, I promise. In fact, I understand your intention. You are worried that I will die in vain. Time and Space Boy said, okay, I'll talk about this later. I ask you, why are you in such a ghost place? This place is a crack in space, extremely stable, and may collapse at any time. Yi Ming then said about participating in the Sword World sword fight. The Time and Space Boy wondered, are the Sword World? An old friend of mine is from the Sword World, he is the Time and Space Sword Master. Master of Time and Space Sword. Great, right? Yi Ming asked. Time and Space Boy. It's okay, at least not worse than me when he killed someone. He couldn't survive, because it would run tens of thousands of years ago, or even millions of years ago, when the enemy was the weakest. Quote. Ming was taken aback. The world has such. Nothing strange. I can do it. Have you forgotten the ancestor? It was I who took his old man into the past, which created countless brilliant human civilizations. Yi Ming. So, this sword world is really extraordinary. By the way, I forgot to tell you that the Sword of Time and Space is also owned by the ancestors. It also has another name called Renwang Sword. This is its later name and was used by the Emperor. However, where it is now, I don't know. Quote. There is something coming, I will go first. Just then, the space-time boy disappeared. The next moment, Yi Ming was pulled into the time and space of the sword by the familiar force. The voice said, the fighting sword will end, Yi Ming's final result will be fourth. According to the rules, you will get 100 places to enter the sword world, a broken sword, and a providence. Before the words fell, Yi Ming felt a mysterious will, and blessed him on the Yuanying. He immediately felt that he had a connection with a big world far away in the deep. In addition, a heavy black sword, about 5 feet long and extremely heavy, fell into his hand. With a sword in his hand, he felt that there was also 100 billion pounds of this sword to say less, because he was so powerful that he couldn't carry it. And as soon as the sword started, the sword spirit communicated with it. Master, I am broken, please ask the master to worship. Yi Ming's Yuanying easily controlled the core of the instrumental spirit. In the next moment, he merged with the Ape, regardless of each other. This fusion is even more thorough than the invisible sword. Sacrifice of the broken empty sword, the invisible sword called. I said, boy, you are a must know how to respect the senior, you know. The broken empty sword snorted coldly. How can you be such a garbage worthy of the owner? Or get out early, don't drag the owner's hind legs. The invisible sword's nose was crooked and yelled, you are the oldest, dare to look down on me and ask for a fight. Ming was speechless for a while, yelled, shut. Bei Ming. 2 idiots. Yi Ming rolled his eyes. Beijing, you also shut up. When all 3 had subsided, he said, you are all my weapons, and you will no longer quarrel. Then, he got another 100 tokens, which could not be copied, but the credentials to enter the sword world. Yi Ming, you can go back. Your teacher, you will be here soon. Yi Ming bowed his hand and said, farewell. After speaking, he didn't wait to pick up again. He called the boy of time and space. Time and space changed, and returned to the vicinity of Jianqi the next moment. When he appeared in Jianqi again, when he saw the weight, the latter asked excitedly, did it succeed? If Yi Ming is defeated, I am afraid that he has already returned or died. And he returned after 3 days, which shows that he succeeded, and people stayed there waiting for the final result. Yi Ming. Fortunately, the disciples entered the top 3,000 and won 3 places. After he said that, he gave the 2 Sword World tokens to the other party. After getting the token, He Zong's face was full of joy, and he laughed. Okay, Yi Ming, you are doing well. The entire sword pond is boiling, because like this token that entered the sword world, even the eternal mountain of the 4 gods is only 5. Counting the piece of Zuo Do Huang, Jianqi actually won 3, which is simply a miracle. Of course, Yi Ming left no time to witness the miracle. He left Jianqi early in the morning. He promised what a heavy matter, he has done it, there is no need to stay. and entering the sword world. It is a year later, now there is no need to worry. However, he really wanted to solve the quota in his hands. He had already planned that these tokens were only used for 10 yuan, 9 disciples, and 1 for himself. With the remaining 90 yuan, he decided to give it to the Gan family and let them help auction it off, presumably selling a lot of money. After these places are exchanged for cash, he will in turn buy some war equipment from the Gan family and sell them to the Tianyuan continent. The profit of the arms business will be far above the Lingguo business. Sometimes the empty boy helped. Yi Ming returned to Tiandaomen in the blink of an eye. Tiandaomen is very calm. The disciples are all concentrating on cultivation. Only the small death clubs bring soldiers and horses from time to time to deal with the requests of believers. After all, he is and worshipped by believers. After returning home, Yi Ming felt the power of the broken empty sword, and couldn't help but pose. However, as soon as he waved his sword, the surrounding space suddenly became unstable, and the earth was rumbling. It seemed to be an earthquake. Yi Ming quickly stopped the broken empty sword. The invisible sword mocked immediately. Bulky guy, it is very inconvenient for the master to take you by your side. You should hurry up. Shattering reprimanded. What do you know? I have the ability to shatter space congenitally. When the master dances, it will naturally lead to space instability. What are you capable of? Invisible sword. I can penetrate into the invisible. The sword is meaningless, far more useful than you stupid guy. Yi Ming had a big head for a while, and said, noisy, please give me all the storage rings and wait. Upon hearing this, Jian closed his mouth quickly. Time and space boy, I feel like I have touched a point, but it is still unknown. Once I understand, I can immediately advance to the sacred position, and then set foot on the Valkyrie. He murmured. Yi Ming, it's useless. The sword world places are sold beforehand. I'm going to Wushan Valley to look for opportunities. Its mountain jade can attack the stone, maybe it will be harvested. He said to go, and immediately went to Dongshan to find Guo Tado. Guo Tado still lives in a bustling market. When Yi Ming saw him again, the ordinary-looking middle-aged man no longer looked like the last time, but immediately stood up and greeted him from afar. You finally came. Yi Ming remembered that Feng Tai was accompanied by Feng Ji when he first came, but Guo Tado was not so polite at that time. He wondered, did this Guo Tado know anything about himself? Thinking about it, he bowed his hand and said, Senior Guo, I haven't seen you in a long time, so I'm bothering you again. Well, what Guo Senior, you and my brother's match. Guo Tado was very polite. The two sides sat down and Guo Tado said, my brother is here, want to go to Wushan Valley? Yi Ming nodded. Yes. I also asked brother Guo to bring it. Guo Tado laughed. It's a trivial matter. In Wushan Valley, I can't say anything else. It's okay to keep you safe. A few more words, Guo Tado finally said. I heard that my brother went to the sword fight in Sword World. Yi Ming was startled. This is a secret that few people know in Jiangxi. How did Guo Tado know? He looked as usual and smiled. Brother has good news. Yes, I have been there. I also heard that you actually entered 3,000 places and got 3 places. The other asked with a smile. Yi Ming said lightly. Since brother Guo doesn't take me as an outsider, he doesn't have to talk eloquently, it is better to speak up. Guo Tado, smiled. Let the brother laugh. This is the case. An old friend of mine wants a place to enter the sword world. I wonder if my brother can cut love. Yi Ming's impression of Guo Tado was greatly reduced. The other party should know that he only has one place, but he still asks, indicating that the person is very selfish and has bad intentions. But he wasn't angry. The quota was originally for sale. Who was different? He immediately expressed his embarrassment and said, Brother, I don't want to hide it, although I barely got 3 places, 2 of them turned over to Jiangxi, and only 1 was reserved by the Immortal Temple. There are 2 identities, which are all used now. Guo Tado twitched his muscles and asked, Brother, is there room for maneuver? Yi Ming was still in a dilemma, saying, Originally there was nothing to do, but the temple was willing to pay for it if Brother Guo's friends pay enough. I don't think the temple will make me lose too much. He said in this case, it is a polite way to say that you are asking the price. We will talk about the right price. It is not appropriate to talk about something early, otherwise it will waste everyone's time. Guo Teidu's old man was so slippery, naturally knowing Yi Ming's heart. He asked with a smile, I don't know the price of the temple. Yi Ming said. The price of the sword pool is 15 billion yuan. Puff. Guo Teidu sprayed a sip of tea, shocked and said, what? 15 billion. Yi Ming smiled. Hee hee, I was also weird, how could this thing be so valuable? Later, the brother of the temple told me that there are only 3 or 5 places for other gods, and each additional place is extremely precious. Guo Teidu's face was a bit ugly. His original plan was to use Yi Ming's long-term coins to deceive Yi Ming's quota. He didn't know that he would be a lion, and it would be 15 billion. Moreover, if he bids, he must have more than this 15 billion. Yi Ming looked at him with a dignified expression and smiled. If you think it's expensive, then I'm so sorry, my brother, I can't help you. Guo Teidu said, Brother Yi is an easygoing guy. So let's discuss it with that friend, and see you tomorrow. Yi Ming. Okay. That's it, my brother is leaving. Farewell to Guo Teidu, Yi Ming went straight to Wushan Valley. He is not stupid, knowing that Guo Teidu himself is the one who wants the quota, and he cannot accept the expensive price of 15 billion yuan. In this case, he simply went ahead and went directly to Wushan Valley. Valkyrie Valley is a place where people who are interested in martial arts gather. The vast majority of people, after entering the realm of martial arts, will abandon martial arts and enter the realm of law. And those who adhere to the martial arts path become very scarce, they slowly gather here and grow together. Valkyrie Valley is literally a huge gorge. This canyon is hundreds of miles wide at its widest point, and it is tens of thousands of miles long. After tens of thousands of years of development, Wushan Valley has formed a long and narrow city. The population of Wushan Valley has already exceeded 1 billion people. Business inside is prosperous, masters are like clouds, and nearly 1/10 of the trade in Tianyuan mainland is held here. It can even be said that Valkyrie Valley is more prosperous than God. Moreover, historical dynasties, regardless of whether it is the 5 dynasties, the 5 elements, or even the 4 great divine lands, supported the Wushan Valley, regardless of material or human resources. The reason for this is that the people in Wushan Valley originally came from all directions and from various factions, and there were many people who had the land of God and nobles of the dynasty. When Yi Ming entered Wushan Valley for the first time, he thought he had come to the wrong place, because the street was too prosperous, giving him the illusion of entering the capital of the gods. And not far away, he also counted many old names, such as Duobaolo, Shenwutang, and so on. It is really troublesome without Guo Teidu's guidance. Who should I look for? He was a little confused. At that moment, someone behind him exclaimed, but my friend is new to Valkyrie Valley. May I need the help of Wanjitang? Yi Ming turned his head and saw a teenager looking at him with a smile.